What is up, guys? Fly212 here, and thought I'd make a video about a really interesting thing I saw on the Reddit Xbox One subreddit, I guess, for the Xbox One, and it was about the Xbox One X outputting Titanfall 2 at nearly 6K resolution, and it was confirmed by Phil Spencer that it was playing at 3200p, which is almost 6K resolution. And it's very interesting because this is the quote by Phil Spencer. When it comes to the Xbox One X, it means there are times it'll render it higher than 4K and then downsample to whatever resolution the Xbox One X is outputting to. It is truly glorious on a 4K display. This quote will come back to haunt me, I'm sure, but there will be times in war games, last time I was testing, where it was rendering at 3200p, which is basically 6K. Spencer continues to say, internally, the internal render resolution is dictated by the GPU load, so obviously there are no guarantees as to how often it renders at a particular resolutions like this, but essentially we're using 100% GPU all the time. So, the Xbox One X can run Titanfall 2 at 6K, and I assume it's at 60 FPS. Because despite the Xbox One's weakness, and it is a fairly weak console, especially compared to the PS4 and PS4 Pro, the Xbox One and the Xbox One S is kind of, you know, it's not on those levels. Titanfall 2 is 720p, 60 FPS on Xbox One, but it looks really good if you've played Titanfall 2. It's a good looking game, and it's incredibly smooth. I mean, it is 60 FPS all the time. So I assume this is 6K, 60 FPS. That is pretty impressive. And, you know, it really goes to show that Microsoft really is making the most powerful console of all time. I mean, you know, console. It's not going to compete ever with a PC that's running a GTX 1080 or a 1070. Okay. Well, it might compete with a 1070 actually, but it's not going to compete with a 1080 or anything above that in PC. But for consoles, this is a pretty impressive machine. And it's running 6K Titanfall 2, but yet we can't get, and I'm going to make a video on Bungie and how Destiny sucks. It sucks. Just deal with it. It sucks. Destiny's not that good of a game. And Bungie's not that good of a developer anymore. But Bungie can't even get Destiny 2 to run 4K 60 FPS. They said that it'll be 30 FPS. But yet, the Titanfall developers, Respawn, has gotten this thing up to 6K. I'm just saying that if the developers are good for the Scorpio, I'm still going to call it Scorpio. I know it's the Xbox One X. If the developers are good with the Scorpio, I think we're going to get tremendous looking and performing games. And it's going to help the PS4 Pro, and it's going to help the PS4, and it's going to help the Xbox One. But there's still going to be developers that are like Bungie, that are lazy, and they're not going to do as good a job. I mean, think about that. Titanfall 2, the game that's not 1080p on either PS4 or Xbox One, running at 6K, 60 FPS. 6K on the Xbox One X. Pretty impressive. And the Scorpio had, I've already talked about how bad Microsoft's E3 was with the Scorpio. But for $500, this thing is pretty impressive. It's pretty legit. And it's only going to benefit the industry as a whole. And it's only going to help PS4 and the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro. So I'm excited for the Scorpio. This was an interesting read, and I'll link the article in the comment section or whatever. But thanks, and stay classy, YouTube. Take it easy.